Hey, Rusty's back. Hey, Dan, looks like you're back. Sorry, guys. I had to, I forgot. Sometimes in the shop, the Wi-Fi is flaky. I forgot to turn it off and go cellular only. I blame Dan. Elegant Woodcraft, it's your fault. Just kidding. I should have changed it out before I started. I'd forgotten. So, all right, so let's, aluminum foil on the antenna. All right. All right, so let's do this again. So, yeah, Dan. So, I've just got a 2x8 hanging from the rafters that gives me, I can change the height, lower and raise it if I need to, but I really just keep it there. And got these magnetic couplers. If you need them, I can send you a link to an Etsy shop. They're fantastic. And then, yeah, just a couple of 2x10s connected to the wall, a couple of hinges there and there so it can pivot back and forth. So that's my desk collection. Let's try this again. That's what I get for, you know, changing it up a little bit. I think DeLon's in the house. I think I saw him come in. Let me get back here. All right. Check a few of the comments. We'll get started, guys. So, hey, while we're getting started, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. I'm in Oklahoma. If this is your first time, I'm Steve with My Honey's Handmade. So, yeah, let me know where you're watching from. John asks, is that a Thunder laser? Yes, John, it is. I have a big boy laser. Let me know if you want a video on it. I'd love to make one because I use that quite a bit for my business. Yeah, Dan, if you guys saw my magnetic couplers, last year I got really tired of messing with the clamps because I go from the drum sander to the planer pretty often. And I found this guy on Etsy had good reviews, and I ordered one. And within the first week, one of the magnets in the 3D printed coupler came off. And I told him he actually designed a new one that had twice the magnets and was beefier. And they have worked so well for, I think I've had it 8 or 9 months. So if you're interested, send me an email at myhoneyshandmade@gmail.com. And I'll send you the link to the guy's Etsy shop. I would highly recommend it. I tried some cheap ones from Amazon. They didn't last at all. Good deal, DeLon. He's taking a break. All right, so DeLon's Handmade Woodworking is in Michigan. If you guys didn't see him on Thursday night, he had a live with Professor Rusty, and I was the guest. So that was a fun time. We had live callers, and we had guests that joined the live stream. So that was quite a bit of fun. All right, Dan's in PA. John's watching from Maine. All right. That's kind of we've been wanting to go to Maine. I've never been there. Professor Rusty's in Bama. Mike's in Cincinnati. Tom is in Ohio. Now, hey, Mike DeLauder from the Whacking Shack's in Ohio. So, small world. Hey, John, Thunder did not send me that laser. I bought it a year and a half ago for my business. So yeah, they did not. I wish, John. I mean, those are expensive lasers. Hey, Amy Joe. Thanks for joining. And Jay asks, do you have a laser engraver by chance? Jay, I do. I use it very often. You'll actually see some of my things I make with it today. Amy Joe's in Colorado. Man, it's cold. Yeah, John, I've got the Nova 51130, so that's a 130 watt laser. So I've cut up to 3/4 inch thick wood on it before. Uh-oh. Amy Joe, you heard it here first. DeLon's Handmade Woodworking says that Amy Joe is going to be his next live guest next week, maybe? I don't know if he's messing with us or not. Hey, T. Paul Walker, how's it going? Yeah, Jay is asking, cool, I have one also. Do you use Lightburn or EasyCAD? Jay, I use Lightburn. That's awesome, Amy Joe, that you're going on DeLon's and Professor Rusty's live next week. I'll definitely check that out. That's fantastic. I was going to mention Amy Joe, guys. If you wouldn't mind posting her channel, that'd be great, Kat, if you can do that. Amy Joe just finished carving an eagle. She is an awesome carver if you guys haven't followed her. So, yeah, give her a like, subscribe. She does some really cool stuff with some Dremel carving. Pretty awesome. There's a lot of great carvers in the channel in this live. So there's a lot of great people to follow and like. So let's see what we did last week. So last week in the live, we made this walnut box. Let me stand up a little bit so you guys can see it better. This is the walnut box we made. Off camera, I added these brass inserts to reinforce the rabbet joint. That's the type of joint we used. And then I used this hard wax oil from Osmo Pollux. I would highly recommend it. I'm really liking it. 1 or 2 coats. Most of the time I'm only doing 1, but I've made several boxes over the last month and I really like how it feels. And then this is a sliding, I designed it as a sliding Bible box, but it could be a keepsake box. I think it's pretty cool. So this is what we made on last week's live. So during this week's live, we're gonna make a box, a smaller box out of cedar fence picket. We'll be using hand tools like hand planes, and we'll also be using power tools like the table saw. So stick around, let's get started. So let me show you what we've got here. Let me catch up on these comments. T. Paul Walker's in Virginia. Yeah, John, the laser was somewhere around that price. All right, guys. So let's get started. Let me go show you what we've got. I'm going to switch gears here. So I've already milled up. I bought a few of these 8-foot cedar pickets from Lowe's. They were around $6.50 each. I didn't even know they had 8-foot long pickets. I've never bought them before. And they're 5/8 inch thick. So I planed them down. I've already rough cut them. And I cut these to 4 inches. I kind of trimmed up the edges, give it a little clean appearance, and then I've planed it. I haven't really sanded it yet. So the box size we're going for, it's going to be 8 inches long, 5 inches wide. And what I was trying to do is, and we're going to keep it, the fence pickets are 5.5 inches wide, so we keep it 5 inches so that the fence picket for the bottom sits through the grooves. So we're going to cut this up on the crosscut sled, then we're going to go over to the hand tool bench, and I'll show you how that works, and we're going to plane these. So let me put some PPE on. I would highly recommend wearing respirator, eye protection, ear protection. And also this week I installed this, man, I'm trying to remember that. I can't remember the name. PowerTech. I installed this stop on my sled. I really don't like it. It's got wiggle room. I've got it really cranked down, so it might work, but I'm just not real happy with it. I'm going to switch it up and make something different in the upcoming weeks. So let's cut this up, and then we're going to go do some hand planing. I'll show you guys one of my cool hand planes. Now, if you're new here, put hashtag new in the comments. And people that have watched my content or been here before, please welcome them to the community. Appreciate you guys. Oh, Lord. right, guys, we're back. So let me show you. I need a better stop block system. I'm gonna switch to a new system probably in the next week. Don't like this. I hate nailing into the actual sled, but it works. That's what I use right now. So, you know, I just boxed or unboxed this week. This is, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys know who Jay Bates is? Kizzy, do you know who Jay Bates is? Awesome. So Jay Bates is a fantastic woodworker. I've been following him. I think he was one of the first ones I followed probably 8 or 9 years ago when I got started with woodworking. And him and Taylor Woodworks 3 years ago sent this MatchFit workbench. It's a breakdown workbench. The legs and the side or the bottom comes off. So it's a portable hand tool woodworking bench. Honestly, 3 years ago, I started my own business doing this full time. So I really haven't had a lot of downtime. And I'm in between clients right now. So I unboxed it this week. And so you're going to see different videos coming out in the upcoming weeks of me working with this. So I'll show you how it works here. So in previous weeks, I was hand planing. I was making the slots on the outfeed table and had mixed results. So let's see if this is any better. Let's get this set up. Think about what I'm doing here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to be using this hand plane. This is a Veritas right-handed boxmaker's plow plane. And we're going to be plowing the grooves for the bottom of the box. But the big thing we need to figure out how to hold it first. So we're going to use this stop. We're going to use a couple of ways to hold this wood so we can plane it. That's a big challenge, is holding your workpiece. You see that? No, Kizzy, I did not alter the plan. Jay Bates actually built this and mailed it to me. 3 years ago, I won an Instagram contest or Facebook contest, I can't remember. But him and Taylor Toolworks sent this to me. So I haven't altered it. This is what they sent me. I'm gonna add my own stuff to it. Like I'm gonna add more, I like the tray and back, so I will be adding my own stuff to it. So a big part of this is figuring out how to clamp it down. So now we're just gonna route some grooves. And I probably could have done this before I made the miter cuts. But, oh well, live and learn. And cedar, if you guys have worked with cedar, it's really soft. So I'm really afraid of it breaking this way. So this has a depth stop on it. So as soon as it stops cutting shavings, that means we're deep enough. And if you guys have watched my three previous box making lives, this went really well compared to my other method, because this is really holding the work so much better. Hey, Ben is my name, says, how heavy is it? Ben, are you saying the bench or the hand plane? Because the bench, I can lift it, whoops, but it's pretty heavy. I'd say, I would guess, I think it was 60 or 70 pounds. But I know one thing, if you're doing some serious hand planing, it's designed to put weight on the bench to hold it down more. Probably sandbags is what I would use for my, I have sandbags for my craft shows to hold my tent down. So this is what we've got. So this is going much quicker than previous times trying it. It's because it's a softer wood and we're really able to hold this down much better. This is the MatchFit, the MicroJig MatchFit system. So it's really holding things down. Oop, you got to get it on the stop first. And hey guys, please hit that like button. That lets other people see my stuff and hopefully enjoy the channel. I appreciate you guys being here today. I'll come catch up on comments once we get these grooves cut. Adjust this a little bit. That is cutting really well. Yeah, just one more to go and then we can go catch up on comments. Oop, almost. See, I can feel the bench moving slightly. Might have to hold it with my leg. When you're planing, you really exert a lot of force. Actually, I know one improvement I would make. I'll give you my thoughts, because I've only used this a few times this week. It's my first time setting it up. All right. Man, that's freaking awesome. Those grooves cut really well. Whackin' Shack is here. What's up, Mike? All right, so let's catch up over here. We've got a few comments. And we'll play a little trivia real quick, and then we'll get back to the build. That should be better. Let me catch up on these comments real quick, y'all. Hey, everyone say hey to Mike Stanifer. He's new to the community. Let's welcome him in. John up north says, hey, I really need to make a sled. I've put it off for years. John, I'm going to make a sled maybe this week with the MatchFit. So look forward to the video in the next month. I really need a new sled. I'm not digging how it holds down. So I'll be changing it up. Plus I need it deeper when I'm cutting bigger panels on the table saw. Yeah, and Kizzy asked me, did I do some alterations to the original plans to the J Bates MatchFit workhorse bench? I did not. This has just been unboxed this week. I've had it buried in my shop for 3 years and just really haven't had time to do anything. Yeah, Ben, you totally need that. So I'm going to have upcoming videos of in-depth look at the bench. Jay Bates also has one. He has a video where he builds it. Then he has a second video that explains all the accessories. But I'll be making my own as well, showing you what I do with it. Hey, Josh, thanks for joining me. And Josh asked a good question. When I was cutting the grooves and I was holding the workpiece against that stop, which kept the wood from moving when I was hand planing, am I worried about pressing in the mitered edges? And Josh is right. That's a good call, Josh. Especially with cedar. Cedar's really soft. So I've never made a box out of fence pickets that I remember. So we're going to find out. I don't expect a great joint necessarily. We'll see. I haven't made one. This is my first time, so we're going to see it together. But that's a good point. I could have, probably should have done our slots first and then go cut the 45-degree miter slots. So yeah, good question or good observation, Josh. Appreciate that. The Whackin' Shack. Hey, Mike, did you get your mallet I made you? Has it showed up yet? We turned a few weeks ago, we made a mallet on the live, and I gave one away to one of the watchers with his QR code to his YouTube channel. And that's Mike at the Whackin' Shack. His latest video is really awesome. He made a cedar planer that has a light feature, like a solar light. So you should go check that out. Mike at the Whackin' Shack. Hey, Nicole, thanks for joining us. All right, so now we're gonna get to the, I had a little quiz for you real quick, little trivia. Let me see if I can find my stuff. Where'd it go? See if you can see these. I need one more. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, here's a little quiz for you. We've got super glue, Titebond 3, and Titebond Quick and Thick. Which one of these would be better for a cutting board or anything that touches food or water? So we've got super glue, Titebond 3, and Titebond Quick and Thick. What do you guys think? Hey, Rick, let me see if I'm seeing your comments here. I just saw that one. Rick asks, how's the weather? Rick, we're in Oklahoma. I think we got 3 or 4 inches of snow last night, and it's cold today. It's going to get down to 0, 2 or 3 nights this week, so it's cold. The shop's warm, so that's awesome. All right, so everyone's saying Titebond 3. John at North, Titebond 3. Nicole, Titebond 3. Josh with Last Breath Woodworks, Titebond 3. Kizzy says 3. T. Paul Walker says 3. You guys are on it. Titebond 3 is FDA cleared for food safe after it dries, and it's also waterproof, water resistant. So it's food safe and it's exterior safe as well. So if you're doing outdoor projects, that's the one to use. If you're using food safe projects, that's the one to use. Hey Rick, I remember about that mallet. So hopefully you like that. I thought someone would not know that. So you guys did great. All right, so let me switch the camera around. We're going to see what this looks like. I've got a feeling, oh, we still have to cut the bottom as well, but we'll do a dry fit real quick. Let me switch that camera up. All right, let's see. So we're just gonna do a little dry fit, get a measurement for our bottom panel as well. We're just lining these up on the back edge. Yeah, these joints are gonna be pretty crappy, I can just tell. Let me zoom in a little bit, show you guys. We'll see, we might be able to make them a little better. Whoop. Get some tape out of here. This blue tape works around the corners really well. Hey, Jeremiah, he's in the house. Now, hey guys, if you've heard of Workbench Con, it's coming up in a couple of weeks. Jeremiah has a lead on a ticket that's available, so you might reach out to him. He's in the chat. His name, Villeneuve or Villeneuve Woodworks. I know I'm butchering that. But he's a woodworker up in Nebraska. You should follow him as well. Anybody have anything good for lunch today? I had a omelet. I had a late lunch or late breakfast, early lunch. I had to come out here and get ready for the live, mill some wood. All right, so let's see what this is going to look like. I'm not hating it so far. Let's see. Oh, I did have it right the first time. That was the top. I was like, man, that looks good. Okay, let's get some more tape. And Nicole said she had oatmeal. I always like oatmeal. I've been adding oatmeal to smoothies lately. It's been really good. So I just use the blue tape for the glue up as well as the dry fit. Tom had chili for lunch. That sounds good. We had chili this week. Okay. Now, that's actually better than I thought. But that's on the top. I was trying, that actually looks, that's a pretty good joint. When you add some glue, let me see, make sure you guys can see that. That's not bad. So now on the edges, here's what Josh was talking about, or you can see that I've got a little separation. That could be me having the wrong degree. Like on my table saw, I tried to get a little bit under 45 degrees. That's a good joint. That's pretty good. Okay, I'll take it. 3 out of the 4. You know, for a fence picket box, I'm all about that. And then here, someone in the chat mentioned you can use a screwdriver on a joint that doesn't close like that. You can put a screwdriver and run it across here and it'll push those fibers together. Let me zoom out. Okay, so let's get a measurement on this real quick. Yeah, Whack and Shack saying roll over the edges. Exactly, Mike. So let me get a measurement here. We're gonna go cut that bottom, but I'm kind of digging it. I also need to sand the inside real quick. So let's get a measurement here. So inside, I'm 7 5/16. And then I am 4 5/16. And then we have to add, my slot is 3/16 inch deep. So 3/16 plus 3/16 is 6/16, which is 3/8. So we're gonna add 3/8 to each of those. Actually, it's easier to, so 7 5/16 plus 6/16, is that right? Yeah. It's going to be 7 11/16, and then 4 11/16. So that's our two measurements there for the bottom. 7 11/16, 4 11/16. So let's go cut that real quick. Then we'll do another dry fit, make sure we're good. Hey, Whack and Shack, he says, he asked a good question. Did he plane it or something? If my pickets look like that, I wouldn't hate pickets so bad. Yeah, I planed it. This is planed but not really sanded. So they're really rough when you buy them from the store. So these end up being around, I think 3/8 inch. What do we end up after planing it? 3/8. These are about 9/16. Or I'm sorry, not 9/16. They're 7/16 inches thick. So right over 3/8 of an inch thick. But that looks pretty good. That's why I wanted to try it. Cedar is a natural repellent of bugs, moisture, and rot. It's naturally repellent to those. So yeah, so let's cut this bottom real quick. I'm gonna gear up, then I'll be back over here. 7 11/16. Now we need to plane this bad boy. All right, let's check out these comments real quick, and we'll see if we measured or if I measured correctly. Let's see. Simon Medina said hi. Hi, Simon. Yeah, and Kizzy told Nicole, outdoor builds, they're not the same as indoor, and you have more potential issues to take into consideration. You're building something to withstand the elements. That's really true, Kizzy. Especially cedar. I made a grill cart out of cedar 6 years ago, and it's gray now. You know, you gotta sand it, reapply a finish every couple of years or every year maybe, depending on your place. Super Truckers for Jesus says, nice to see PPE. Many don't use it and it will show up later. I am absolutely, I gear up. When I'm in the shop and I do cuts, I wear the mask all the time. I've got the mask off just to talk to you guys. But usually I'm geared up all the time if I'm cutting anything. Now, Mike with the Whacking Shack says he's wanting to build an outside end table. Mike, what material are you going to use with that? Yeah, Nicole's asking, she asked me, try going over 1/2 degree for your 45 cuts. I hear it works well. Nicole, that's a great tip. That's actually something I looked up today before the live. If you tilt your blade from 45, and if you go maybe 49.1 or 44.5 or 44.1 right in there, it'll help with the joints. But my saw doesn't go over very well. I meant to come out to the shop and clean it. Yeah. So yeah, Mike says he's gonna make that end table out of cedar. Yeah, man. This isn't even sanded, so let's dry fit sand it, and I'll show you a sign I made with it today. I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't made anything out of cedar, not this type of cedar. So here's a sign I made before today. This is one of the cedar pickets, just planed and lightly sanded. Just made a little sign. So kind of cool. Yeah, John has a good suggestion as well. He says build a shooting board or sanding board that is just over 45 degrees, so a couple of light passes should tighten the joint up. Oh, Josh is saying you should go the other way, 45.2-ish, instead of what I was saying, I guess 44.5. I might have said it wrong. Let's dry fit this, see what it looks like. Well, there we go. Let's see if you guys can see this. And I think I measured pretty, no, it's a little long. See those two gaps? That tells me that I've got this just a little long. So pretty good on the width, it's great though. So down here we're fine. So I'm gonna make it just a tad bit, about 1/8 of an inch shorter. Let me go cut that real quick. We're really close. Said it was better. trimmed it down a little on the width as well. I think it was a little wide too. Smurf pissed on my floor. You see all that epoxy? Oh my gosh. I haven't made the video, but this summer I made an epoxy. Man, I think this piece is long. That's what the problem is. Huh. I need to go double check the measurement here. Yeah, I had an epoxy pour this summer and it went bad. 5 3/8. Oh, that's the problem. Yeah, I'm a little big on this one. I need to go cut this on the table saw again, on the sled. Wasn't my box. Yeah, I'm off about 1/8 of an inch. That's the problem. I thought it was my bottom. This guy's a little too big. Let's see what I can do here. Hey guys, do me a favor and smash that like button. I gotta throw this sled in again. See where I was off here. That one looks good. Okay, so that one's a tad long. Yep. John up north has a good tip as well. To get the box measurement inside, use 2 pieces of wood to kind of like as a marking stick or measuring stick. I've seen that before, I just haven't used it. Whoop, let's get this the right side up. That should give us a better result. I thought it was the panel, but that's what I get for thinking. I should have measured these cuts when they came off the table saw. All right, let's try this again. Get over there. Why do I feel like it's still off? Actually went together pretty well. Well, it actually looks pretty good. Let's see what the top looks like. Well, that doesn't look too bad. Check that out. Like once you get some glue in there, those are nice, pretty good joints. Well, that one looks like crap. I didn't see that. Yeah, that one looks like crap right there. I think I'll have to clamp that. All right, guys, got another piece of trivia for you. Let's do this. How many pounds do you think my laser is? 500 pounds, 1,100 pounds, or 1,500 pounds? Josh says 1,100. John up north says 551. Isaiah says 1,200. Dan says, how many pounds? The answer is yes. Whack and Shack, 500 shipping weight. T. Papalambropolis, much as it is for me to pee in the morning. Oh, gosh. Wow, it's already going there. Small Woodlot says 1,500. Nicole says 1,150. Kizzy says 600. All right, the real answer is 1,100 pounds. I had to get a friend from church bring a forklift. This was in a crate, and we had to bring it back to the shop, to the backyard shop. And he was able to push it in, and then we made a ramp with the lid to roll it off. So yeah, this thing's like 1,100 pounds. It's freaking crazy. Isaiah, I use it for my business. I do woodworking, custom furniture, and laser engraving. So I use this for a lot of stuff I sell at craft shows, Etsy, things like that. I make a lot of lake maps with epoxy. So, all right, you guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'm going to sand this bad boy real quick. Yeah, you were close. I'll switch the camera up over here where my sander is. I'll let you guys look at this bench real quick while I sand. Drool over that. All right. Hey, Mike at the Whacking Shack just asked a question. He said, hey, honey, did you say I could order my QR codes rounds from your Etsy? Yeah, Mike, I've got an Etsy shop. I'll sell the, I cut out these rounds. Let me show you. I cut out rounds So you can put it on your mallets, you can put it on your furniture. This is cherry, but the ones I make on my Etsy shop are solid maple. So they stand out better so that I put your QR code on it so someone can scan it if you make them something and they can find you. So it's kind of like your maker's mark. But I think I've got it listed there. If not, shoot me an email, myhoneyshandmade@gmail.com, and I'll get it listed. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you. Yeah, John up north. Hey, Alexander, how are you? Yeah, I actually won that takedown or breakdown bench. It's a MatchFit workhorse. Jay Bates, the YouTuber, great woodworker. Him and Taylor Woodwork sent that to me 3 years ago. And like I was telling everyone earlier, I just started my business and went full-time doing this full-time 3 years ago. I have not had time to play with it. So I just unboxed it this week because, I've been working with my hand planes quite a bit making these boxes. And, man, it's really versatile. I'll be doing a video on it in the next week or two, or at least the next month. I don't want to overpromise, but I'll show you how it works. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the small wood lot says, love that workbench. All the joinery is awesome. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's made out of southern yellow pine. Has a lot of different accessories. I'm not going to get into it, but I'll show you real quick. It's a breakdown. It has a clamp down here. Let me show you. It's portable, so it has a clamp here and a block here that holds it in place. And it needed a wedge, so I was using one of my push blocks as a wedge. Whoops. Yeah, that thing, I've just used it this week. It's fantastic. I'll be making extra accessories for it. Because it's got a little spot here to hold your pins, your marking gauge. And it uses the MatchFit hardware. So all these to connect everything. So I'll be having some pretty cool videos with MatchFit stuff coming up. All right, let's see if we can get this glued up. I like to use these little, I think they're called acid brushes. I get those off Amazon, like $8 for 50. So this is what I like to use when I'm doing glue ups, for smaller glue ups. I'm not going to go crazy with the glue. I'm going to let that set for a second. I'm going to spread it out and let it set for a second because this is end grain. The end grain soaks up the glue. So what you can do is you can spread this out a little bit. And we're going to wait about 5 minutes after we spread it out. Then come back and put a second coat. What that's going to do is act like a seal for the end grain. That way your second layer of glue is going to give you a much stronger joint. So, all right. Yeah, I need to get the bottom of this too. I didn't get the bottom. That looks pretty good to me. Oh, Kizzy said that's her flux brush. Yeah, they're great. Those brushes are really good. So Mike, what do you have going on in the shop this week? Are you making any more planters? Yeah, the small wood lot says, looks like it would be an awesome table for a lathe as well. Small wood lot, are you talking about the bench? And then John up north says, just sucks when the bristles come loose. Man, you are not kidding. I hate that all the time. But it's the same thing if you ever use the larger ones when you're painting or applying finish, the bristles come off. That's just, you know, cheap brush. Alexander, you should send me a picture of your 3D planter and I'll put it on the channel. I'll see if I can figure out how to put it on the live next week or give you a shout out. I'd love to see it. I don't have a 3D printer, but I've got a buddy that does. I've been wanting to get one. Yeah, a small wood lot says, yeah, that knockdown bench. Yeah, it would be good for a lathe, but, well, that'd be kind of cool to have one, but I have my lathes screwed down to the bench that they're on. Yeah, and Josh says something about he uses the silicone basting brushes for larger glue ups. That's usually what I use, Josh, but couldn't find one. I had a Rockler one. I don't know where it's at, and I had a cheap one. I'm going to go to Dollar Tree and buy a few of the silicone basting brushes, just to, you know, because sometimes you might have one that's got glued sawdust glued in it, things like that. So, all right. So I think that's been long enough. Let's add our final coat of glue. We'll get this bad boy glued up. All right, so let me ask you guys a question while I'm gluing this up. I'm looking for an idea for next week's video. Have you guys ever done steam bending of wood? I haven't. That's actually my most popular video is how to make your own PVC steam box. If you guys go to my channel, you can find that video if you want to watch it. But I've been wanting to do a project, a steam bent project. I haven't made a video in a long time, probably a year or two. But this is the time of year I like to bust it out. See if I've got enough glue there. It looks like a little more. I think that'll be fun. Come on, baby. You fit earlier. Come on. There we go. Just had to line it up. That joint still doesn't look quite right, man. There it goes. Hey, Alexander, you can send me a picture. My email address is myhoneyshandmade, MYHONEYS, handmade @gmail.com. John, I used to use my finger, man, but I'm doing a live and I don't want to touch my phone with the glue, so. Small wood lot says, hey, make a steam bent boat. Man, That's too much for me. If I had a, nah, I couldn't do it. That'd be, I've seen, oh, who was it? I've seen people and some big YouTubers make boats before. Jimmy DeResta made one in the last couple of years. Yeah, Alexander, cool, man. Look forward to seeing your pictures. I'll put them on a short. I don't know how to post them on the live though, but I'll add them to my channel and give you a tag. I'd like to see them. Yeah, and if you guys want to shout out, if you guys have anything you want to send me that I'll shout out on the channel, I've got to figure out how to do it on the lives. I'm not hating this. Check that out. I've got to sand this, of course, on the outside, but oh man, that one ended up crappy. But for a fence picket, I'm not hating that at all. I'll take that for a fence picket. I think I might, I don't know what I'm going to do with that box. Yeah, Nicole, that's the ones I was going to use from Dollar Tree was what you're talking about. Whoop, it's all right. Flip this sucker around. Yeah, Alexander, that was a fence picket, man. Now, it wasn't repurposed. I went and bought it, and it's not pressure treated. I wanted to make sure it wasn't pressure treated. I don't want the chemicals in the air or inside projects I make. So, excuse me. Hey, Vinny, thanks for joining, man. Now, John says I could have put a panel at the top and cut the lid off with the table saw. That was my plan today, John. I've never done that. I've always wanted to, but I didn't know if the cedar, I didn't know how good the box was going to be because I've never made one out of Pickets before. But my next one, I think the next box I make will have a lid. And we'll cut it off and we'll do the inserts so that the lid has a nice tight fit and just sits on it. Yeah, I don't know. What would you guys use this box for? It is, what do we say, 7? This is 8 1/4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, Josh says maybe a rabbited lid. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Bam! It fits. Has a little glue on it, but hey, I don't know. I can fit all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Alexander, I'd like to live. I don't want to suck up poison, right? Oh, there you go. Blue tape? Okay, it fits. I don't know. I'm pretty happy about that. You know, most of the time, someone said weed. Okay. It's where you put your weed. My stash box. It's not my thing, but hey, I get it. I appreciate you guys joining. Smash that like for me. If you guys want to be featured on my channel, if you ever want to do a live together, holler. Last week I was on the lawn and Professor Rusty, they're live. It was a fun time. Several of you were on there. I appreciate you guys hopping on that. It was good. So, okay. So I didn't catch the comments before. So I don't know how to do a poll. Let's see. Ooh, let's try to create a poll. What do you want to see next week? I haven't done a poll before. This is kind of cool. So option 1 is steam bending, laser engraving. We can do that. I haven't done a lot of laser videos, but I'd like to tell you guys how I use it in my business. And if you have a business, I can tell you probably how to help a little bit, maybe. Oh man, it won't let me add 3. Come on, dude. It only lets you add 2 options. That sucks. So steam bending or MatchFit bench. All right, guys, so I just put up a poll. See what it looks like. I haven't done it. Yeah, so I put up a poll. Says, what do you want to see next week? Steam bending or MatchFit bench? So yeah, give me your input, guys. I kind of want to make videos you want to see. John, that would be cool. I'd love to be on your channel sometime. Hand carving of the Mona Lisa. Man, I suck so bad at carving. I tried it last week just for fun, and I'm horrible. I have some gouges, but I'm just really bad at it. A lot of people in the group, they're great carvers, but I'm not. Now I add texture to my bowls with a Dremel occasionally, but put it on a train body that goes to the house. This way, when you need a beverage or snack, you can send it to the kitchen. All right. Yeah, Vinny. My most popular video on my YouTube channel is actually how to make your own steam box at home with a PVC pipe. And I think I bought the Rockler steam generator. It's just something that boils steam, and it has a tube that connects to your steam box. So yeah, I haven't done steam bending in a couple of years, but if you guys want to see a steam bending video, I'd love to put it up for you. Just whatever you guys want to see. Democracy Live, we get to vote, Alexander. Yeah, I know, Kizzy. It gave 4 options, yes and no, and then do you know that that's my first poll, sorry. First time doing it. Uh-oh, Nicole said I misspelt steam bending. It's not supposed to be steam ending. You're right. Thank you, Nicole. Typing live is hard. Thanks, Kizzy. I wanted the yes option to win as well. So, hey, who else is going live today? I haven't seen Joe go live. If you guys know who Joe is, he's with Woodworker's Dilemma. He does some DIY. Last week in the last couple of weeks, he made a cool planter with a trellis, and he does a lot of carving. I think the last carving he did was a dinosaur skull push stick. So pretty cool. Not a breezy says, just was thinking epoxy. Yes. Now, I do epoxy projects as well. I don't do, if someone said my floor looks like Smurf peed on my floor, I did a surfboard with 3 gallons of epoxy this summer, and man, it went bad. I've been thinking about making a video on it. I have all the footage. I just haven't spent the time to edit it. So, but I do epoxy projects as well. Just I haven't videoed a lot of them. Yeah, Mike's live. Mike's doing a live every week, Saturday, I think, 6 p.m. Central. The Whacking Shack and 77 Rockets Woodworking. If you haven't followed them, they're great channels. They're blowing up. Hey, John, I look forward to seeing that, man. John up north might be going live at 6 or 7 tonight. Thanks, Nicole. I spell better, but, you know, it's kind of nerve-wracking typing while people are watching, so. Thanks for double checking me though. Yeah, John, when I was in my 10 by 16 shop, before I had this shop built, I would go run I had a heater buddy or propane buddy, and I'd run it off the propane tank and let it warm up for 30 minutes before I went out in the shop. So if anybody didn't see it, this is the sign I made earlier out of that same cedar. I just made a quick sign on my laser engraver before the live. These are some of the signs. I make different signage for other makers, other people that go to craft shows. It's fun. Hey, Ryan made it. 77 Rockets Woodworking in the house. What's up, Ryan? Alexander said it's not a spelling contest. If it was, I would be dead last. Hey, man, true story. I was runner-up in the 6th grade. But, hey, Ryan, you missed it. Check it out. This is what we made. We made a cedar box out of fence pickets. Check it out. I'm kind of digging it. And Ryan, you need to go rewatch the live because I got a sweet hand tool woodworking bench that Jay Bates sent me. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for a cedar fence picket, man. And I didn't know they even made them 8 feet long, so pretty cool. Washed Away says, life is pain, will cedar wood take it away? Well, I'm not sure about that. Mike? Oh yeah, the bench is pretty beautiful. That's what you're talking about, right, Mike? Or are you talking about my sweet box? Careful. My sweet box is pretty too. Mike, that's the sweetest thing you've ever said to me. Thanks, man. Starting to sound like a 77 Rockets live. Yeah, that bench is pretty sweet. Yeah, Josh, they're getting a little crazy. Yeah, thanks, Vinny. The bench is really cool. So far, let's see what this poll is showing. I did a poll. How the heck do I view it? Let's see. Okay, guys, if you haven't done the poll, I'm asking you if you want to see a steam bending project or the MatchFit bench with hand tool woodworking for next week's live. Thanks, Small Woodlot. I try to keep it G-rated. Mike's a bad influence, just saying. You got to watch those Ohio peoples. Oh, yeah. Ryan doesn't know what G-rated is either. He's a California guy. Us Oklahomans, we're in the Bible Belt, so. Well, hey, guys, I think I'm calling it a day. Uh-oh. John, well, hey, John up north asks a question. He said, if we go live, you want to talk about lasers, woodworking, or 3D printing? Hey, John, I vote lasers. The Whackin' Shack says, we are respectable young lads, good sir. I don't believe you, Mike. California has a warning label, Alexander. Yeah, John, let's do lasers, man. I've got to make sure I think I'm following you. We'll have to do it. Yeah, let's talk lasers tonight. We've got a couple of things to do, but yeah, that'd be cool. Exactly. All right, I'm ending the poll. Last chance. You got 2 more minutes to vote on the poll. So far, the MatchFit is at 41%. I can't see the rest. Oh, there it goes. Steam bending is, or steam ending. Steam bending is 28%. MatchFit bench is 41. All right. So yeah, so next week it looks like we're gonna do a live, and I'm gonna show you all about that hand tool bench that Jay Bates sent me. It's pretty sweet. If you do hand tools or like woodworking, it's gonna be a pretty sweet video. Or live, it's gonna be a live. I've got some crappy chisels, but I've got DeWalt chisels. Honestly, they work fine. I'm not carving mortises with them all day long, but I use a fest tool, so I don't do that too often. Yeah, Whacking Shack's into hand tools a little bit. Uh-oh, Small Woodlot says do both, the bench with steam bent. I'm trying to think of a small steam bending video, like a small project. I don't see a lot of those on YouTube. I see where they're building like the big canoes or big pieces of furniture. Notre Dame says, hey, do you work with pecan wood? If so, how does it compare to other hardwoods? Notre Dame, I have worked with hickory. And what my wood supplier tells me and what I've seen, pecan and hickory are once they hit the ground and are cut down, you really don't tell the difference. But they are really hard. They're hard on your tools. Yeah, if you're carving, you have to sharpen very often. If you're making a bowl on the lathe and you're not using carbide tools, you've got to sharpen often. So, hey guys, if you're new to the channel, put new in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Yeah, no problem, Notre Dame. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you hanging out. We've got 61 in here. How many likes do we have? I can't see. Doesn't tell me. Hey, Small Woodlot, I have to save room in the shop for projects that pay me money. So I can't, I'm supposed to be building a Dungeons and Dragons table for a client coming up, maybe starting next week. That'd probably make a good video. All right, we have 50 likes. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for that. Alexander, thanks, man. Well, hey, guys, we're going to call it. I really appreciate you guys showing up and supporting me. Next week, we're going to do a live on the bench like you guys wanted. 2 p.m. Central next Sunday. And if you guys want me to share on the channel anything from your channel, send me an email at myhoneyshandmade@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. This is Steve with My Honey's Handmade. Have a good one.